Hi, it's Anthony Dolman Jones. This is a special little segment called The Stress of Never Giving Up, and it really brings to light the whole reason the at-risk and alternative education master's program came into existence at Marian University. It actually started in some classes where one could see that teachers working with at-risk kids were mostly loners, and some of them were burning out and weren't getting much support even in their own schools. So from that, we started a thing called Bulletin Board, and all of a sudden we had 600 teachers from around the country on it. And that led to the National At-Risk Education Network, et cetera, many national conferences, a lot of good stuff, a state chapter in Wisconsin called Narinwich, which I think has a conference every February, which could be soon. And there are problems and there are dilemmas. Dilemmas are problems that can't be solved. One of the problems that looks like a dilemma is how can you care about kids and not get burned up? The answer to that is right knowledge. And so that's the purpose of this little short video. It's called The Stress of Never Giving Up. We are caught kind of in a vice because it's a cardinal sin for teachers especially to give up on children who've already been given up on by perhaps their parents and community. They come to us and we may be the last thing between them and not a good life. Perhaps jail, penitentiary, suicide, dropping out, loss of income, poverty, crime. So no pressure there, right? So my name's Anthony Dolman Jones. I had 2 books published last year. One was on this topic, stress, kill stress before it kills you. The other was personal and professional transformation, which is really, in a way, a stress book because it's about solving problems. Sandwiched in between here on the slide is Shadow Children, a book I wrote about at-risk kids, and the characteristics they carry with them out of their abusive, neglectful upbringings into adulthood, meaning right through school, often misdiagnosed in schools as disciplinary problems, lack of motivation, etc. And sometimes gasoline is poured on the fire in an attempt to put it out. And we wind up having what we call push-out programs in schools where our best efforts are to get kids to drop out. So without further ado, so I want to look at 3 topics: stress, focus, and caring. Those seem to be the 3 areas that quickly we can get to do something about this problem of caring about kids and yet not burning out. Okay. So first we'll look at stress. Almost everybody, I'll say this, very few people know what it is. Everybody says they have stress, but nobody can tell you what it is. They'll tell you, but then it's not what it really is. They'll say it's my kids or my budget or my job, or I got a colleague who drives me nuts, or my spouse drives me crazy, or the president drives me nuts. That's not stress. Those are what we call stressors. Those are the things that ask us to make a change, sometimes demand we make a change. It's that demand to make a change that is stress. So even good things like winning the lottery is stressful because all of a sudden you have to learn what to do with $198 million. All of us say it's the kind of stress I would like. But watching a Green Bay Packers football game is full of stress because it's always a nail biter. There's a reason they're called a heart attack pack. And sometimes you're watching the game going, this is no fun because it's so much stress. Because it's, you get a ride of a good pass, and then a drop ball, and then our quarterback gets sacked, and then we score a touchdown, and then we're up and down, and that creates a lot of cortisol. Adrenaline releases cortisol into our bloodstream, which is okay a little bit because it makes you take action quickly or gives you the energy to take action, to either fight or flight. Children come out of abusive homes. Cortisol is out of whack, and they often constantly have cortisol in their system. So they overreact, or they've suppressed the cortisol and they underreact to stressful situations. So what can we do? Well, we're going to look at better relationships, and we're going to look at conscious connected breathing. So first, we're going to do conscious connected breathing. Then I'm going to split this presentation into 2 parts so I don't lose it. So the reason I want to there's so many tools for stress, for handling stress, but I just want to look at the top 2 or 3. Stress is physical, emotional, and mental. Any stressful event, you have a physical reaction, a mental reaction, emotional reaction. Some of us major in one of those, and minor in the other 2. So some people are very mental about stress. They talk themselves out of it or rationalize out of it. Other people are very emotional, get angry quickly or sad or scared, but we all have physical reactions to stress. And a lot of people are aware of it, and most people are not, of the tension in the muscles and the tightening in the stomach and the heart rate constriction of blood vessels, etc., and the cortisol, which is released into our bloodstream. So it doesn't matter what the event is that causes stress. All 3 of those are activated. And you can enter a doorway of either one. Just think of it as a stressful event, physical, a doorway marked physical, emotional, mental. You can enter any of those 3 doorways and do something. Okay, take action. So one of the easiest is conscious connected breathing, because it actually helps with all 3, but it majors in the physical, which is the breathing. So it's a very simple thing to learn. You knew how to do it when you were a baby. You did it naturally when you were asleep. You watch a newborn baby and they're breathing in a circle, very relaxed. And so do cats, and I don't know why, but even when they're asleep, they breathe like this. So how to do this, there's just 3 rules. You breathe deeply, you relax the exhale, don't blow it out, just let go, and you keep your breathing in a circle with no pauses. So as unsuccessful conscious connected breathing looks like this. It's amazing how many of us actually breathe like that now. When there's children, we breathe. You watch a baby lay on its back, and it's giggling and trying to reach something, and it's going like this. When it's sleeping, it's like this. Calms me down just showing you that. So we're just going to do the one style. That's the deep breathing. So I'm going to teach you how to do this. So I'll talk, you listen and do. Okay, so close your eyes. And I'll go over the 3 rules very quickly. We're going to breathe deeply. We're going to relax the exhale. You don't have to force it out. It'll come out by itself. And we're going to keep the breathing circular, meaning no breaks, no pauses between the inhale and exhale and exhale and inhale. Okay, constant circle. All right? So you're going to hear me breathe, but that's only so I can lead you. But you normally shouldn't be able to hear anyone breathe. If you hear people breathe, it's because they're constricting. See? If you constrict your throat, you breathe like this. If your throat's not constricted, you breathe like this. Yes, I was breathing, and you couldn't hear it. So try to keep your throat open. That'll help you breathe quietly. Okay. So here we go. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath, and just let it go. Before you bottom out, take another one. Before you top out, let go. So Okay, got it? All right, now I'm going to give you a link later that you can go to see a video on YouTube and you can breathe along with me, okay, for 5 minutes. But let's just do 1 minute here, okay? So close your eyes and take a deep breath and just let it go. Start another. Okay, keep going in a circle. Just keep going. Now I'm going to talk, but you breathe. So breathe, deep breath. Relax the exhale. Deep breath. Relax the exhale. Now even deeper breaths. Ready? Longer exhale. Okay, keep going. Now you may get a little dizzy. That's to be expected. Don't be alarmed. It'll pass. It's because you're getting so much oxygen you're not used to it. So keep breathing. I'm talking, you're breathing. No breaks between the inhale and exhale. Constant circle. Focus on each breath with just deep appreciation. It's great to be alive. It's great to breathe. Big breaths. Relax. Big breath. Relax. Okay, 5 more seconds. There. Open your eyes. Ooh, it's bright, isn't it? And do you feel different? You probably do. Probably feel more relaxed, a little, maybe a little tipsy. Okay? And you have an altered state. They talk about the runner's high, you know, it's like you're pumping stuff through your blood. It's actually through your lungs. You get runner's high by breathing deeply and rapidly in a circle. Because that's what you do when you run. You breathe a lot, and then you don't take any pauses between the breaths. So you can actually get runner's high without running. How about that? Okay, so this is a technique. There'll be a link to it. I'm going to stop this segment and to make sure it's taping. And then we'll be back with part 2 here in a little bit.